All right, man. Bootleg Cat Podcast, all the way in the Bay Area. Came out here to fuck with my guy BERNER, man.
Special edition.
Special edition at your first of all, this new compound you have. It is a man. I wish. Well, listen, we're gonna do a tour on the YouTube channel so people will be able to see it. But man, this shit is crazy, dog. Like, this shit is some real, like, as you would like to say, some real mafia shit.
It's life goal shit, dog. Like, shit, we built everything you've seen today from the house, on the couch, in the front room, pacing in the house. And so, you know, landlords could be a pain in the ass. So I wanted to wait to build something like this until I was a landlord, until I could buy the building and kind of decide what I want to do, how I want to do it, you know, and just not have to answer anyone. I've seen a lot of big businesses, even in this area, being pushed out by their landlord. Yeah. And for that shit, I would never do that ever.
I was gonna say, like, you've always had, like, you know, you're always diversified, to say the very least, right? But in terms of, like, the content space, you've always, you know, I think back to the days where you were, like, going viral on World Star, you know what I'm saying, like, for wild things, all the way to now where, like, you know, you've had a show like BERNER's Roundtable that was dope. I don't know if you're bringing that back or not. Are you planning on bringing that back?
Yeah, you know, like, podcasts for me is, like, a little tough. Like, it's just, like, it's kind of like you have to be really consistent, and you've been super consistent, so I give you props on that. But for me, it's, like, I think the cooking is where the heart's at.
Nah, for sure.
Like, and I really, like, a lot of people like, yo, he's just doing a cooking show. And I see a lot of people doing cooking shows and doing cooking content. But I grew up in the kitchen. My father had a restaurant growing up. You know that.
Your dad's a beast of a cook.
He's a good cook. And then, but I feel like besides the cooking show, I think that, like, we want to build, like, the urban food network. And that's what I'm trying to do over here. That's why you see this building completely empty. The warehouse you saw is completely empty. I'm trying to get some capital, some serious partners that understand the vision, to kind of create, like, what we'd like to watch on the Food Network. I mean, the Food Network is dope. We all get stuck watching it for hours, but it's repetitive. It's the same chefs. It's Guy Fieri. Shout out to him.
And it's for a certain, like, crowd.
It's a certain crowd, but, like, there's a whole world out there of, like, viral Instagram chefs killing it. There's a whole world of, like, you know, just the black and brown community doing their thing, and just in the food world, it's being ignored by the mainstream television. So our goal is to build a network. And so I said to say, like, podcasting is cool, but I'm in the Bay. One, not many people roll through here, and two, I don't really know if I want to share this place with that many people. I kind of want to keep it.
Yeah, if you have too many people coming in and out, like you said, like, this is a special place.
It's pure right now.
Right.
You know, I got to keep a little yada and I mean on my hip, but that's good with me. Like, I don't want to have full security out and not be able to sleep. But I like it the way it is now, and I think food content is pretty pure.
Yeah, I was gonna say with the food shit. So the goal in this, like, really is, like, to eventually try to have a channel that's on TV.
Yeah, you know, either like a channel on TV or, like, building my own network that consists of, like, a food segment of things, like a like a true crime series kind of, you know, style content, short films that we debut. I really want to build my own network, really. Yeah. And I got some good things going on. We spoke about, I don't know, last time, I have a scripted series in the works, a really big network. And it's a big budget, and I think it's going to do really well. And I feel like while I'm in those doors, you know me, I'm a wiggle. I'm going to get to know people. I'm going to be able to shake hands, rub shoulders with the right people. And I feel like if I have a portfolio of content that ranges from, like, the food space to true crime documentaries,
documentary,
yeah, to, you know, the short films that could be proof of concepts for real films, then maybe there's, like, a network partnership, or maybe there's a partnership with, like, a bigger network or something like that. So I just kind of seen what 50 did, and I respect the fuck out what he did, but I don't want to have to rely on, like, networks the whole time. I'd rather kind of build my own portfolio in the background and do a partnership with the network of content that I own and produce myself.
I was gonna say, I think we had talked about you maybe doing a movie or something that kind of covered the Bippin aspect of the Bay.
Yeah, actually, my partner's in that. The script is done. It's called Splash City. They're coming here. They'll probably be here in, like, 30 minutes. So as soon as we're done with our interview and tour, then I'm gonna sit down with them and review this script. But that script's ready. There's another script ready as well. So. Yeah, just, you know, taking my time to fuck with it, right?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, that is, like, one of the things that, like, is so Bay Area specific that when I talk to people, like, they don't know even, they've never even heard the word BIP, and they're like, what the fuck is that? Like, it's such
so they get here and they get their shit hit, and I feel like it's gonna be like the new school New Jersey Drive almost, in my opinion. Like, it's gonna be dope because no one's really covering the Bay Area, and that's kind of my goal. I feel like, all right, I've made it to a certain status. I feel like I put on hard with the music as much as I could, and I'm gonna still fuck with it, but I feel like my ultimate goal is to kind of put the Bay on my back in the sense of telling some of these stories, tapping into some of this untold content. Like, no one's ever tapped to the Bay. Like, all the crime films and movies are based on New York, LA, Chicago, Boston.
Right.
You know, like, where's the Bay Area stories at? Right. And so I feel like I'm trying to get into a position, like, financially and, you know, just respect wise, where people will trust me with those stories.
That'd be hard, dude. We haven't talked on camera since you made the Forbes magazine, so I just want to say congrats. That shit is,
thank you.
That shit is pretty gnarly to like be like, damn, my boy's like, my friend is on the cover of Forbes. Like,
you know, the cool thing about that is like, there's people that are way richer than me, and there's people that have built way bigger businesses, but to touch that cover is like every businessman, entrepreneur's dream. Yeah. So I have guys like worth like hundreds of millions of dollars. They hit me like, dog, you did it. And I'm like, bro, you did it, motherfucker.
No, you did it for real. Yeah,
you got it right now, liquid. But I just think it's a really cool thing to come out of cancer and then touch that cover and then get the Ad Age Award and get a couple other things that we got. Like, it's just really cool, and it's just good morale for like the kind of industry I'm in.
I was going to say, how does that change your life, being on that cover? Because I'm sure it makes people look at you a lot different.
Well, two ways. Yeah, no, I mean, one, people put more respect on the business conversations, but two, everyone thinks you just got it. Like, they just seen that word, like $400 million. They're like, oh, motherfucker, you could tell me, let me get $500,000. Let me borrow like $300,000.
Hold on to $100K, bro. Like,
man, invest this $2 million behind my company. I know you guys, like, bro, like, yo, like this valuation that they're putting on me as a person, you know, kind of like relies on the businesses performing, executing, and like, you know, exiting one day, right? That's what the value of my business is, and it kind of put a lot of things in perspective. You see, even the rich rapper list, that shit was trippy to me.
That shit is crazy. Because what were you, 4th or 5th?
I was number 4.
Crazy.
And then you put yourself next to rappers like
fucking Dr. Dre and Jay-Z.
Yeah, Dr. Dre, Jay-Z, Kanye,
Diddy.
You know, Diddy, and like people are like, well, man, Burn's not really a rapper. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. I do got 49 albums out. I've been rapping since 2006. People are saying, well, he got other businesses. Whoa, so does everyone else.
Everybody else. Everybody else got, you know, at a time, Ciroc and you know, Rock Nation, and I mean, yeah,
all kind of things. Different. Ace of Spades, whatever you call it.
It's the same thing.
It's the same exact thing, except the difference is I'm Mexican and I'm fucking low key underdog, and so it's cool as fuck to see that they recognize me on that list, because that list, I always dreamed about being on a list like that, and I always said that people were overlooking what I built. And I just remember one day kind of just throwing a fit on Twitter like, man, I wish they would look at my shit. And someone actually was like, well, I'd be down to audit you. And that's a really deep audit. They have to look at everything that you have, your assets, your businesses. It's like they can't just put that shit out
to
there
make the cash. Is it the Cash Kings list? Is that what they call it?
No, it's just hip hop's you know, wealthiest, right, whatever it may be, top 5 wealthiest, you know. So they did that, and yeah, that shit hit.
So they like really like, they turn over all the pages and look into your shit for real.
Yeah, they do like a real audit of you, for sure.
Oh wow. Yeah, so it ain't no fugazi ass number going out there.
No, hell no. No, that's a real number. It's a real situation. It's just all around real. Like, they're not gonna play you on that. Like, right, they're not gonna play themselves. It's real publications with real credible writers, and just, you know, they're not playing no games with that list. That list is very strategic. They do a good job of due diligence. You know, I had to have them talk to like business managers and the people that do my taxes, and yeah, that shit's real.
Damn, they're like talking to the CPA and all that shit, huh?
CPAs are looking at like properties. They're looking at the actual, like, all right, you say your business worth this. Like, let's do actual audit of your business. Let's do it. You know, let's get a proper. What did you raise at last time you raised? You know, like, it's real as fuck.
It's crazy because you've obviously, you know, we've kind of seen Cookie's grow from like, you know, I remember the first time I smoked cookies was with 2 Chainz in probably 2010.
Shout out to Titty
or
Boy.
11.
Yeah.
That was around the time Yoko was getting played on the radio out there when I was on the. That was around that time, and I remember you coming out to Vegas, kicking with Franny and shit, and I kind of had like really got hip to you, but it's just wild to see like was there ever a point in time, let's say in 2010, 11, where you ever could imagine that you'd be turning down some of the exits I'm sure you've already been offered, and you'd be on the cover of a publication like Forbes? Did you ever see it?
Nah, but I always knew too, like at the end of the day, it's all about how much work you put into your craft, right? Like if you stay dedicated to your craft, man, like even last night, dude, I got home last night and I just passed the fuck out hard, 9 p.m. out, like dead body. My girls woke up this morning, you remember how you fell asleep? I'm like, nah. She's like, man, you were fucking out. And just because I just work all day long. So I never pictured being in this position because I was always an underdog. I felt like I always had to prove myself to somebody. I always had to work harder than others. But I also knew that like one of my first true believers in what I do, like one of my first actual like investors and partners, and you know, he told me, he's like, bro, like I don't really quite know where you're trying to go with the rap, but I do know one thing. He's like, bro, you don't stop, and people that don't stop and don't quit are the ones that hit. So I'm gonna stick with you. You should just stick with the pack. You're good at selling pack. I want bags from you, and I think that you'd be better off just focused on selling bud, but like, man, you just won't stop with this rap shit. And so I have to stay behind you. I'm going to keep pushing you because that's what motherfuckers like you aren't going to lose. And that stuck with me. I'm like, you're right. Even the current state of cannabis right now, like the weed game is fucked up. A lot of people falling out, a lot of people suing each other, a lot of people hating each other, a lot of businesses going under, a lot of grows failing, a lot of stores failing. You know, but we're still relevant as hell, and we're still going because we still put that passion into it. Like, we still care about this shit.
Do you think it's also because you guys have a dope business model, I think, too, which is not necessarily dependent on any, because I'm sure if people don't understand, like, you guys will you guys have partners all over the country, right? It's not like if you see a cookie store in Detroit, it's the same as the cookie store in Oklahoma. Well, and I'm sure some places it is the same partnership, right? But for you guys, like, you guys have kind of like put together such an incredible business model on the storefront side, at least, where, you know, it's a quality control situation where you obviously have to vet whoever you partner with, but at the same time, it kind of puts you guys in a position where, you know, people are buying into the name and the brand because the brand is so prestigious.
Yeah, it's like it's an asset light business model. We're not raising hundreds of millions of dollars, which allows me to stay in control. A lot of other people that raise hundreds of millions of dollars,
they lose skin.
Yeah, they lose all their equity. I maintained a lot of my equity, bro, a lot. But what it does is, like, it does three things. We're able to stay asset light. We're able to expand faster than anyone else. We're also able to cherry pick the best operators in each market as they open up. So, you know, Albuquerque, New Mexico, we opened up 11/3, right, November 3rd. That's probably one of our best menus in the whole country. The weed looks almost better than some of the weed in California. The menu is extensive, 30 genetics on the menu, store fully built out. Like, we got to cherry pick those partners that were dedicated to us. Nirvana in Arizona.
I was going to say, it took you a very long time to get to Arizona, and that was a passionate, you know,
well, we fucked
mission.
up the first time. We did a deal with the only players in the game, and they pretty much just shelved us.
They fucked the weed up, right?
They fucked the weed up, but they also shelved our growth. But now we found some independent guys, you know, the team at Nirvana, that understand what this brand means. They put the quality, and we turned down enough batches until it was time to go. We're like, bro, it's not hitting. It's not, boom, you got it.
Yeah.
And they dialed it in, and they dialed it in even more from the opening. And so it allows us to partner with the right people all around the country. And a lot of people say it's like a franchise. It's not like a franchise because anyone can open up McDonald's.
Yeah, you guys are being selective on who you're going to let.
We're being selective on who we're going to fuck with. We're being selective on which markets are mature enough to open up. And we're also just really understanding that, like, there's nothing easy about managing hundreds of partners.
Right.
It'd be easier to raise the money and to build out your shit yourself in theory, because then you're the one controlling all that. There's a lot of egos. There's a lot of politics. There's a lot of personal, interaction you have to do when you have that many partners. But I like that shit.
Yeah, and it also kind of removes the, like, bureaucracy that you would have to deal with in each city and market, because at the end of the day, like you said, man, the weed game is, unfortunately, it's full of a lot of cool people, but it's also full, like, on the corporate side, bro. Like,
it's trash, bro. Like, I miss the medical days so much. when it was medical, it was a big risk still, and people were having to put their neck on the line, and it just was a lot more pure. As soon as it went legal, a bunch of people that had no business being in this business got in this business, and they started getting in, partnerships with legacy guys and kind of changing the way that they think and what's really the real goal. I mean, if you look at the two things I'm truly passionate about, food and weed, it's two things that really bring people together. No matter where you're from, no matter where you're at in the world, you can connect over food or weed, right? So like, I'm in it for a bigger purpose. I know the brand has value. I know there's going to be some money associated with this position later on in life, but for right now, it's a struggle to maintain, to stay relevant, to deal with all these different partners, make sure everyone's happy, everyone feels like they're getting the attention they need. But I wouldn't change our business model or the situation we have over anything. It's cool to connect with people all over the world, and you said it, not just in the country, but all over the world.
You guys got
Thailand. We're about to open up London, medical side of London. We're in Spain, we're in Amsterdam, we're in Israel, we're selling weed in Germany right now. Like, it's cool to connect with people all over the world over something you created from the ground up in your house. It's cool as fuck.
That shit's wild, man.
Yeah.
You obviously went through like some public disputes with some old partners that were coming out trying to sue you. Did you end up getting any of that resolved? What's the latest with that?
Nah, those things take years, and those things are like mentally draining and financially draining. But like, I said it, and I can only talk very little on it, but like I know 100% that we're in the right, and that when everything comes to light, people will be like, damn, that boy went through all that for what, right? And so I feel very confident where we are. No one's going to come take cookies from me. I am cookies, right? No one's going to remove any of the partners that helped me build this along the way. And I think that's part of the unfortunate thing about building something big, is when you build something big, people will try to come take that shit. But growing up, I didn't give up my lunch at school. I'm not going to start doing it now. And I'm also not going to jeopardize what we all built together as a community, because a lot of people feel attached to cookies. And
I mean, a lot of people got tattoos. Bro, there's a man in Tucson right now with your portrait and the Cookies logo on his belly.
Yeah, no, that's real, right?
That's a real human being I saw with my own eyes.
Yeah, and so the easy way out would be just to bow down and take something from them and just step. But like, no, dude, people are fully invested in this vision and this brand and what we built together. It's not just my shit, it's our shit. All these operators around the world, they believed in what we built together, right? So I'm fighting for it, bro, and I feel like we're going to win at the end of the day. I feel like we're going to come out on top. It's just going to take a lot of mental strength. It's going to take a lot of capital, right?
Right.
That's why I stay grinding, and it's going to just take dedication and loyalty from me and my partners. That's it.
Man, how do you deal with coming out of getting through cancer and then having to deal with just a whole nother hurdle? Obviously you got stuff in your personal life going on as well. You got to have some mental fortitude to really get on the other side of a battle with cancer.
Well, the fucked up thing is that lawsuit started as soon as I got sick.
So they were both happening at the same time.
Yeah, when I found out I was sick, conversations happened when I was knee deep in chemo and I was really, really, really sick. This ain't a sympathy card at all. It's just like people can relate to what it feels like being sick and thinking you're gonna die, and also having threats of your business being taken, right?
Almost like it was on purpose.
Hey man, wild timing on their end, right?
Right.
Maybe they didn't plan it that way, but that's the way it worked out, and so it was kind of tough. But like, it really put everything in perspective for me. I'm like, well, first of all, now I really gotta stick around, right? Like, I'm really not gonna I can't go nowhere now, and it's really made me realize like the good, precious moments, like with pure things outside of business. And so, for me, that's why that Forbes cover felt good coming out of that shit. It was like, man, I'm being recognized. I'm getting my flowers while I'm here. That's why the Ad Age Award, the Clio Award, these are all big fucking globally recognized platforms that recognize what we're doing. And so it just was the motivation I needed to keep fighting. But cancer was really, really hard on me. I have major PTSD from that shit. And I'm noticing more and more people getting colon cancer at a young ass age. And it's just scary, bro. It's just like really, really.
And like, a lot of men don't go and get checked for that shit.
Nah, because the symptoms are so. I had zero symptoms. I had early stage 3 colon cancer. That means another 6 months of letting that ride, it would have took my ass out. So I probably would have had a year or so. If I would have waited 6 months or more to even get checked, I probably would have had a year or 2 years at most. The hardest thing for me to watch was like the brother, you know, shout out to his whole family, his kids and his wifey, but, you know, seeing the Inky boys go through that, we found out at the same time. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, damn, bro, like that shit hurt and it hit hard because I'm like, damn, not everyone's gonna have a chance to make it through this. And so I just take a lot more calmer approach on life and like stress, and I feel blessed to even be here, bro. And that's why I try to tell people when people get stressed out about money and things that's going on. But today's world, I'm like, bro, like, yeah, shit's tough, but you're alive, man. Like you can't even downplay how big that is right now.
For sure, brother. That is, I think that some people forget that. What was the like? What made you get tested for? Was it just like a normal run of the mill doctor's visit?
Nah, because I was with the doctor already that wouldn't even have ever looked for that. It was like some weird, like universal gut feeling I just had. I just woke up one day, was looking out my window. I'm like, damn, I actually got a good life here. Things are going good. I'm successful. I feel like cookies is going to be something incredible. It's going to live forever. Like, what am I actually missing in life? Where am I missing at? I'm like, maybe health. Like I'm losing a little weight. I'm not as big as I used to be, but maybe I should like get myself a private doctor to really look into what I got going on, because, you know, I just want to make sure I'm good. And it's crazy because 5 years before this, I had a fear of having stomach cancer like my mom. I went and got a colonoscopy, 100% clean.
Wow. So
5 years. So in 5 years, in 5 years, that cancer developed and got to early stage 3. And so I picked a random ass day to call my partner Parker and ask him, do we know any concierge doctors, any private doctors that could actually care about me as a human and really look into me? And we found a doctor that was not only, you know, willing to take me on, but he's also an investor into our business. And he's the only doctor in the country that does this test, the Gallery test. So when I went to go see him, he was like, yo, we can run, you know, all your blood work and make sure you're good, but like this new test came out 2 months ago. I want to run it on you, test for cancer, for 50 types of cancers through the blood. I'm like, let's run it. And that's how he found this shit. And the article came out like maybe like 3 weeks ago. I'm kind of like one of the first people that publicly took that test, found that I had cancer, addressed it, and made it through the situation. So there's a big debate about this test right now. Not a lot of doctors want to take it on because false and positives. That's the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life. I saw it work for me. It saved me. That's why I'm here right now. And I preach about this every time I get a chance, that test should be available.
I mean, it feels like an easy test to take too, like in terms of like blood. When you think of, like, yeah, it's a blood test.
Blood test. And I would rather get a false positive and think I'm going to have cancer for a week and a half until they go look inside my body and then find out that I'm good.
Right.
Than like not know anything at all.
Yeah, because you got doctors that are like, I mean, look, man, you got good doctors, you got doctors who are just getting a check. It's like teachers. I look at doctors and teachers kind of.
It's like anything in business. Being a doctor is a business. And, you know, some of the institutions, like, even though they're good doctors, they just don't have the bandwidth. Like, if you're at Kaiser Permanente, you're seeing 4,000 patients, right? How could you actually truly keep up with one of those patients?
Facts.
Like, even if you're a really good person, even if you don't have a hidden agenda, you're not getting
great
paid.
Intention.
Yeah, you can't. Your bandwidth is going to be done. You're not going to be able to keep track of every. And so, you know, for all my people out there with money, that got money, that care about their health, you know, the new flex is getting concierge doctor.
Get a doctor that's.
Yeah. All the rap cats out there living fast on the road, not eating so well. Like, yo, fuck that Gucci belt. Fuck that new whip. You know, fuck that new chain. Motherfucker, get yourself a concierge doctor and make sure you pay attention to your health. That's the new flex, really.
That's some real shit. Hey, so you've made so much money over the years. What are some of the? I always wonder when people, because I started to make like money where I need to figure out every year how to not pay taxes. What are some of the tips, the tidbits you've picked up in the last decade or so since you've been dealing with, you know, certain quantities of legal money?
You know, the thing is, I know a lot of shit you could do, but I'm just too stubborn to change my lifestyle. Like, you could live in Miami, you could live in Nevada.
Yeah, you could live in places where there's no state tax.
You could live in Puerto Rico and pay zero tax, but, like, do I want to change the quality of my lifestyle to save a little bit of bread? After cancer, especially, hell
Fuck
no.
no, yeah.
I'm just going to pay, you know, it is frustrating. You get $1 million check, you got to give over 50% of that to the government right at the top. Like, if I got $20 million right now, I'm going to have to give over $10 million to the government right now. For what?
Because we live in Cali.
Right? But I'm not going to use any of those tricks now. The one thing I just learned recently is that you're allowed to gift up to X amount of money a year, you know, without it being taxed, you know, to someone you love. So I'm going to start making sure every year I put X amount of money as a gift aside from my kid.
Smart.
That's tax-free. At least you could have that.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I learned, you know. But otherwise, like, it's really all about, like, where you live and where you reside and, like, things you could write off. And the fucked up thing is because I'm burned, because I'm cookies, I get audited every year anyway. So I'm sure they just find ways.
So your shit has to be, like, super buttoned up. But, you know, if you get a tour bus like your bus, that's a big ass write-off, you know?
Yeah, no, it is. For the business, it is. It's a good way to travel. It's a good way to brand your shit, too. So, you know, I would just say, like, look, man, just pay attention to your shit. If you go out, eat, take pictures of your receipts if you're paying cash. You can write off a lot of things as an entertainer, your outfits, you know, some of the things you gotta do.
Yeah, clothing line.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yo, I gotta ask you, you're a big Alien guy, and recently things have gotten, like, it feels like, for whatever reason, the last, like, 12 to 18 months, they keep kind of just, like, sprinkling little, like, breadcrumbs, preparing us for the inevitable, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. You know, whether it's that hearing with that dude who blew the, you know, he pretty much said that we're in possession of alien aircraft or whatever the hell, and then there's the Mexican two. I don't know how legit that one was.
I believe that shit.
I believe it too.
I believe it.
I mean, look, if you go back like maybe 7 or 8 years ago, there was that guy who was in the Canadian Parliament talking about it. But yeah, man, what, like, this shit is crazy. Like, when you saw the Mexican aliens, like, what were your thoughts? Because they really rolled them out like an official Mexican government, like, event.
Nah, that shit's official. Here's the problem with the world. We've been lied to and fucked with for so long that every single time someone posts something, it's just memes and people just joking.
It turns into social media jokes.
And that's what they want.
Yeah.
They don't want us to think like, yo, there's a bigger purpose out there. There's something that we totally don't even know about. There's something that maybe higher people in our civilization actually communicate with and get game from. If you look how fast the world grew, it went from fucking riding horses to whips and iPhones and shit in a small amount of time. That's coming from somewhere. Some genius doesn't just wake up and be like, oh, I could fucking make it to where you could boom boom. Nah, we're getting game from somewhere, right? And so I believe that shit. I also believe they're never gonna tell us what's real. They're probably just trying to prepare us for some kind of bullshit agenda. But there's a lot of truth in some of that bullshit as well. So if it's me talking, I know there's a bigger purpose out here. The gut feeling I got that day to go find a concierge doctor, bro, what the fuck? Like,
right.
That was bigger than just like me thinking that I should get a private doctor. There's no reason why on that day I even felt that in here, in your gut, your second brain, right? I've been watching like a lot of near-death experience stuff. Because obviously I had a near-death experience, in my opinion. I didn't just die and wake up, but like I came close to it. So in watching all that stuff, I just understand there's bigger purpose as conscious as like the universe goes. And so I believe that little alien was real. I believe that Mexico was the first ones to actually show something they've been holding. I feel like all these civilizations they're uncovering, like and you know, in the jungles and shit, all these different pyramids we're seeking. Man, ain't no humans built that shit, bro. Fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like,
and it's crazy too that like some of them are so they match up other pyramids that are so far apart.
Well, they align with the stars perfectly.
Right.
They're all like in strategic ass, you know, places in the world that like will line up with like the universe perfectly. And I mean, whatever. Also, I know that humans have dumbed down hard since back in the day. It's like. And that's what they want. Like, they put so much bullshit and propaganda, and they've created the word like conspiracy theories and all that stuff. So that way, that things that are real. Like, look at all the people might have seen UFOs back in the days. It made them seem like fucking loony bins, dude.
For sure. I mean, I think of like just like if you were to go back 20 years, and if some of this news would have broke, how big of a deal it'd be.
compared to now.
And now it's like no one cares because we're
No one
so
gives a
wrapped
fuck.
up in whatever bullshit.
They're worried about like how to make the next dollar, or whose bitch cheated on who, or fucking what Kim Kardashian is doing, or fucking yeah. They're worried about some shit that's like, yo, my man, they just showed an alien from
Like, there's an alien.
There's 1,000 years ago. It proves we're not alone. That little motherfucker looked real as fuck, and like, they're happy seeing them comments right now.
The thing is like, I think once people really like have to realize, there'll be a moment where they have to really like be like, oh, it kind of like it, you know, for me, I know it's going to make a lot of people who grew up super religious, who grew up believing certain things, it's going to kind of poke a lot of random holes in their
Well, dude,
lives.
besides all that, have you ever seen Judah and the Black Messiah?
Yeah.
All right, like look how the government did them, bro. Look how they did the Panthers, right?
100%.
Like, bro, they will do things to fuck you off, right? Like, I'm not gonna say no names. I don't want no smoke with nobody, but I think there's people in our culture right now that cause a lot of trouble on the internet and with other celebrities. I believe they're working for the CIA. That's my honest opinion. I'm like, yo, there's no way this guy is constantly trying to tempt people and throw people off their game and get them to say or do other things that might put them in jail. It's been the agenda against minorities for a long time.
Yeah,
So,
it's crazy. I think like there is some sort of like, and like you said, that word conspiracy theorist has gotten it's gotten to the point where like you can't question anything without being called crazy.
yeah, dude, they have fact checkers, dog.
Well, and to me, it's like, you know, I remember when conspiracy theories were like 9/11, and you'd be like, oh, you know, let me look into this. But now it's like, if you question anything, they put you in that box. Like I look at, you know, RFK Jr., who's somebody who I think is dope. You know, I've watched his interviews, and I don't think he's said anything crazy. You know what I mean? I just think he's just a curious dude who wants to question shit. But they're so, they just put him in that box. And then people who don't do the work or the, like my mom, like I told my mom, I was like, hey, I fuck with RFK. And she was like, he's a fucking kook. He's crazy. And I was like, have you ever heard him speak? Like,
He's at least addressing real world issues.
Yeah,
He's addressing the fact that like multiple corporations really run everything. Like,
which is crazy.
That's a concern.
Which should be the number one thing everyone should be worried about.
that's a concern. Monopoly sucks.
Yeah,
but like,
Vanguard and BlackRock and State Street are like kind of running your entire life, and no one's talking about it. But that also might be the reason why he's getting boxed out. You know.
I mean, he's the only presidential candidate that doesn't have Secret Service at his disposal.
And someone tried to just run up on him.
Yeah. So, you know, the world is full of hidden agendas. The more older you get, the more money you touch, the more bullshit you deal with. Like the shit I'm dealing with these lawsuits and powerful groups and big money guys. You realize that, yo, this shit's real, dog. Like it's different. Like yeah, it's different.
It's definitely different. You mentioned having 49 albums. I always say this when we talk about just consistency as an MC, as a rapper, as an artist. I feel like you're one of the most consistent guys in the game. You've always been extremely, I mean, no matter what was going on in your life, you always have the time to, you know, hone in and create and make an album or collab with an artist to make a project. For you, like, you know, obviously it's a passion thing, but like, for whatever reason, does it still bother you that maybe you don't get the acknowledgement or the accolades or the flowers as a rapper that you do for all the other shit?
Nah, because I knew if I put 100% energy behind music, it'd probably be a lot bigger.
Right.
And I'll argue with my DJ, you know, Teflon on this tour about changing our setup and trying new things. And I just told him, I said, bro, it's a bandwidth issue at this point. Like, I'm running Cookies Clothing, I'm running Cookies, a weed business, I'm running Vibes Papers, I'm running, you know, this compound and our media, you know, company that we're trying to build, and I only have so much time for music. I told him music is my therapy, bro. Like, I don't really look at it like it's my business. If I treat it more like a business, I probably make way more money, I probably get way more respect. I've had people like 2 Chainz be like, bro, like, why don't you be like our like Mexican version of Rick Ross? Like, you got that talk, you got that respect, like people fuck with you, but you're not putting enough respect on like your image and the way. I'm just like, bro, I'm just a real dude, bro. I don't really be tripping off like really trying to build myself as this big old
as a facade.
Yeah,
like you're not a character.
Nah, I just feel like music is a good therapy for me. It's a challenge for me to still try to stay relevant after all this time. It's a way for me like to be creative outside of like all this other stuff. I have fun doing it, but I don't treat it like my number one priority. I feel like if I did, I could be like a French Montana or something like that, right? Like I could be looked at as like a bigger artist, right? I could wear jewelry every day and glasses and be fitted up, but like I'm comfortable in this sweatshirt right now. I'm rich as motherfucker.
Yeah.
I don't need to show it, right? Like for what? Like my new flex is not to flex. I got a pair of earrings on, but I'm not wearing my 20 different rings. I'm not wearing big old chains, or I'm not really worried about my outfit so much. I don't give a fuck. All the billionaires I meet look like fucking bums. They pull up looking real humble and some dressed down ass shit, and that's what I want to be like at this point. Like, bro, if you seen the whip I'm driving in right now, I gave the Maybach truck back. I'm like, bro, fuck all this flashy shit. I got it. The world knows I got it, so why even try to prove it anymore?
Hey, what up? We got to stop the interview to tell you about our folks at MyBookie. That's right. Now, look, I'm a big gambler. Love gambling. Love sports gambling. I have been on a tear. Look, I ain't going to lie to y'all. NFL season so far been real good to your boy. You could get down, go to mybookie.ag, sign up right now with that promo code BOOTLEG. And you know what's great about that promo code is it's going to get you hooked up with $50 or more. Your first deposit, you can get up to $200 in cash straight to your MyBookie account with the promo code BOOTLEG. At the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers' season is a wrap. My guy tore his Achilles. It's over. Your season doesn't have to be over. NFL, college ball, man, the new cash out system on MyBookie is crazy. Let's say you got a 3-leg parlay, a 4-leg parlay, maybe 3 of the 4 legs have hit, and you're waiting maybe on Monday Night Football to see if you hit all 4, but you don't want to take that risk. You just want to cash out, take your money and run. You can do it. The brand new cash out system is fire, all right? So make sure you go to MyBookie right now, man. So much to do, all kinds of daily odds boosters, same game parlays, huge prize pool contests. Right now, mybookie.ag, all right? Sign up, use the promo code BOOTLEG. On your first deposit of $50 or more, you can get up to $200 in cash instantly to gamble with. Plus, we got a shout out to our fam at Blue Chew. That's right. This is a good thing about Blue Chew, guys. Well, one, the one thing I always get asked about Blue Chew is, one, does it work? 2, do you use it? Well, yes on both accords. All right? Shout out to Blue Chew. It works, but you got to not take my word for it. Get a whole month for free right now. If you go to bluechew.com and use that promo code BOOTLEG, they're going to send you a month's supply of Blue Chew straight to your door for free. You just got to pay $5 shipping. Same active ingredient as Viagra and Cialis. And when I tell you that your dick is going to be dicking, your Johnson is going to be Johnsoning, your cock is going to be rocked up, socked up, and ready to unload. Yeah. Huh. It's like Barry Bonds' 73 home runs? 70 home run season? You're going to be knocking them bitches right over the fucking, what's the big green monster in Fenway Park? Shit, your dick's going to be hitting that pussy straight over that wall. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever you're into. Don't got to be pussy, you can be asshole, whatever you're into, BlueChew.com. Put your best foot forward when it comes to your dick, all right? You don't want to go on a first date with a young lady who you think is, easy enough to fuck on the first date and not be prepared. Get the Blue Chew, BlueChew.com, promo code BOOTLEG, and get your first month for free. Same active ingredient as Viagra, Cialis, no awkward doctor's appointment. It's all online, discreet packaging, straight to your door in a chewable form. BlueChew.com, promo code BOOTLEG. Let's get back to the interview.
No, I feel you. I'm on that same shit. Obviously on a much lower level. But I'm not. I own a nightclub now in Scottsdale. You were there. But my partners, man, they love the Beamers and they get like dog.
That's I feel like that's just you're just rubbing that shit in people's faces.
I just don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
My wife has a nice whip. I drive my car that I don't mind driving to the bay and putting miles on, and my wife is sitting nice and I'm chilling.
I feel like right now we learn a lot. Like rest in peace to P&B, bro. Like and rest in peace to all these other people that are losing their lives. But like I feel like right now the world's in the most fucked up position we've seen it in our generation. Besides 2008, people are broke. People are hurting.
It does feel though, the energy is not the same in terms of like the literal loss that's happening in '08, but it feels almost like you could feel it.
The amount of calls I get every day for people trying to get money or trying to figure out ways to make money, or people feeling the loss of like emotion is crazy. And so I don't want to be the one to be rubbing no shit in people's faces right now. I'd rather just stay low key, do my thing. But as far as music goes, I'm gonna keep trying. Like, I'm gonna keep doing my thing, having fun with it. I know me and OGZ are locked in for next month to knock out a EP, which will be dope. Bring some good young energy around.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
yeah,
like,
you've let him use the bus before.
Yeah, that's my little bro, right?
He's a great kid.
And I think he's super dope. And I'm like, let me get next to OGZ and just kind of soak up some of that energy real quick. I already got the beats picked out.
Yeah.
You know, Rory called me the other day. He's like, bro, like, do we need someone to pick beats? I'm like, bro.
You are great. If there's one thing you do well, you pick fucking beats,
man,
bro.
For me and OGZ project, I got some shit.
You are great. You're great A&R.
Yeah, that's what I told Rory yesterday. I said, bro, I don't like to say this too often, but I got us.
That record you dropped, one of my favorite records you dropped recently, it was you, Conway, Jada. Who else was on that record?
It was me, Conway, Mozzie. Styles P.
No, it wasn't Jada. It was Styles.
Styles P.
Yeah.
And
that shit was crazy.
Yeah, that shit was hard. But I got the me and OGZ project lined up. I got me and Larry June want to do another one, but I told him I want to take the time and have all live music being played so we could perform that shit with the bands.
Oh, that'd be hard.
Me and Mozzie got another one coming. I already got the
individuals too.
Yeah, I already got the beats picked. Me and B-Roll got a full album already done, produced by Scott Storch. I just need to find the time to like add like 2 more hooks, maybe like 3 features.
Well, you and B-Roll haven't done anything for a while. I mean, at least officially.
Yeah.
It's been like 6-7 years?
Nah. It's been
what was it, Prohibition 4 or 3?
Nah, Los Meadows was the last one.
Okay.
That was a great album. It just happened during COVID, and we got
49. It's hard to keep up, man.
And we got discouraged because the album was so good, but then for COVID, we just got fucked on the promo for it. But yeah, man, I got me and OGZ, I got me and Mozzie, I got me and Larry June, I got me and Be Real. I'm gonna bring one back with my brother Ampacino, for old school purposes, just old school mob sound. Yeah. But I'm going all group projects right now for a while. I feel like I've done a good amount of solos. I'm just like, let me just go group projects and just bring different energies out.
Have you had the opportunity to tap in or meet or at least check out Mexican OT?
Yeah, I mean, I was supposed to be involved in this project. Something fell through the cracks, but I got a call about potentially helping the A&R of his project, and like sitting with him and helping pick beats and come up with just like features and things like that, because someone else recognized, Johnny Shipes recognized the talent for the ear, but something got lost in communication. But
he's a vibe, man. He's a good kid.
I still want the opportunity though, because I feel like he's a dope ass artist. He has a lot of potential. He's blown the fuck up, and I feel like, if I just sat with him for one album, if I gotta bring out some shit he don't even know he got yet. And I feel like he's got a good sound, he's got a good look, he's got like a good momentum. But shit, OT, I know the first project, things slipped through the cracks. I'm running $1 billion business. It wasn't on purpose. If you hear this, sit down with me for one project, bro. I promise I bring a whole different world out for you, brother. Just on some whole different vibe with the production, with the features, with the rollout. And I think that kid's got a lot of potential.
Yo, I wonder, like, you sitting back and kind of seeing, because we talked about how, like, for whatever reason the Bay gets overlooked when we be thinking like stories and how it gets covered. I mean, I think lately, unfortunately, most of the stuff we hear about the Bay in the news, world, like nationwide, is real negative. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it's fucked up out here.
Whether it's the smash and grabs or the bipping or whatever the case is for you, like, what do you think is, because if you go through the city, if you go into San Francisco, it's a lot different place than it was 5 years ago, 4 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, for you, what do you think is the remedy, and what do you think is the cause of kind of all the chaos in the Bay right now?
Man, it's gonna be a touchy subject, bro. But I'm just gonna be real, bro. Because at the end of the day, I didn't make it this far to stay silent about things. I think they just let the city go to shit on purpose. They gentrified the fuck out of San Francisco. They moved all the people that are from there out of there. So the actual care and love is not really there anymore from people that grew up in neighborhoods like Hunters Point or Lakeview or the Fillmore District or the Mission. They just moved everyone out. They brought big tech in. Big tech got spoiled. They got, they started turning the city into what they want to. Even the neighborhood I grew up in, on California and Fillmore. My dad's restaurant used to be on top of on the bottom of our apartment complex, and then there would be like a movie store, there'd be a pizza shop, there'd be a coffee shop, there'd be this Mexican restaurant. It's all boutique clothing stores, and I was like, what the fuck? This ain't a neighborhood no more. This is some like high-end techie shit. And so I think the biggest problem with SF is that it got gentrified and they got way too liberal. Like, bro, I like how liberal the Bay Area is. I grew up getting money because of the laws of how liberal it is. But, bro, this smash and grab shit some chump ass shit, bro. And like the fact they just let it ride like that. Like the fact you could walk into Walgreens and just take whatever you want and walk out.
And not worry about going to jail that day.
It's bullshit, because at the end of the day, bro, we got kids. Yeah. And I want my kids to feel safe when they go do their thing in the city.
Like, you would, like, if your daughter was 18, 19, because she's getting there, right?
16, yeah.
You know, you would not feel comfortable with her going shopping by herself in San Francisco.
I send somebody with her because I know what it is. I know that there's a risk for her car to get broken into. I know there's a risk for someone to steal something out of her hand and just move. And so this is the Bay Area, y'all. We grew up selling packs, getting money out of bitch. We grew up, you know, doing what we had to do. We're real hustlers. This is the home of the independent blueprint.
For sure.
E40, JT, the bigger figure. We own our own masters. We were taught how to hustle from our mouthpiece. I feel like that's where I am in life, is because I was bred by the real ones with real game. Bring it back to that, dude. Go get back with this shit, man. Go, hate to say it, as a father of a teenage one, bro, go break a bitch. Go sell a pack. Go build an independent fucking portfolio of music. Go do something dope, man. Like, all this other shit's hella petty. It's trash, and like, that's not what we represent. I see some big players speaking out on it. Some real ones that did a lot of time out of the Oakland area. Shout out to Lil D. You know what I mean? Shout out to the real ones, the real players. We're players in the Bay Area. We're go-getters. We're independent hustlers. We're a different breed than anyone else. Let's put that respect back on the area, because right now we look like a bunch of little petty-ass thieves, and that's not what it is.
You know, it's crazy. I have this talk all the time because, you know, I'm a fucking pretty liberal dude, you know? Like, I voted Democrat most of my life, my whole life.
Me too.
And, you know, it's like at what point in time it's like, yo, what are we doing?
I feel like they're getting too liberal, bro. They're letting this shit fall, and this is my thoughts.
Zero bail shit. Like, it's like, that's coming to LA October 1st. I'm like, y'all think LA's bad right now.
Yeah, but let me tell you why, though. I'm a preach, man. I feel like they're doing this shit on purpose so they can implement other laws that way supersede any of this shit. So y'all can get away with some bullshit right now. Keep fucking up our program, keep making us look crazy, and they're gonna come. They're gonna come in and be like, you know what? Due to all these problems, we're gonna put in this law right here. That's boom, 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 boom. And we're gonna be like, whoa. So everyone's right now.
You might have to show like scan your ID before you even enter a mall soon.
I feel like China's leading the way for like the social credit score shit, 100%. And they're leading the way for like this real lifestyle. Like, they're monitoring, they're the real big brother right now. And I feel like what they're doing in the US, especially in democratic areas, is they're letting this shit fall apart on purpose so they can implement bigger laws that just affect and take all of our freedom away. That's just my opinion. I could be high, maybe, guys, I've been smoking a little too much funky funk.
At the end of the day, there is something to be said about like that social credit score shit, because it already kind of feels like it's happening. Like,
yeah, it's happening. Look at Instagram, dog. You act wrong, you speak about something they don't want you to speak about, you get shadow banned. They tell you, we're only showing your content to X amount. Why? Who's deciding this shit? Mm-hmm. That's that big brother shit. Mm-hmm. That's why you should join Social Club, motherfucker. Shit.
How's Social Club doing?
It's too tough, bro. I mean, bro, we built out an app that allows you to upload pictures, videos, text posts. You could put your whole menu. If you're a trapper or if you have a store, you can put your whole menu of products and price for free attached to your profile. We're putting audio comments and audio caption.
Right.
No other platform has that, but no one will fuck with the platform. I'm burnt out on it. I'm thinking about giving up on it again. That's the one business I can't figure out, which is tech.
It's tough, man. It's tough because like you're competing with like, I mean.
But think about this though. We're competing with a platform that doesn't give a fuck about any of us. All our shit's shadow banned. I had someone at Facebook tell me, yo, you got 2 million followers, you should be at 13 million followers. By all the ways you've been searched, by all the stuff that you've done, the accomplishments you've made, there's no way I was stuck at 1.9 million followers for 2 years. You mean to tell me I was on the cover of Forbes magazine and my followers didn't go up 100,000 at all?
Yeah.
fuck that. She was like, you should be at 13 million at least, but they're capping your growth.
Well, I think what it is, man, is unfortunately, like, everyone's gonna go where the attention is, right? So if you're like a fucking business owner, you want to be where everybody's at. It just is what it is. So it's like in the same way that, like, you know, like YouTube, unfortunately, you know, there's other YouTube competitors that have popped up that like Rumble and shit like that. But you know, it's like if you got a content channel, you kind of have to depend on YouTube in a certain way because if you want your shit to scale for real.
That's where the eyes are. It's hard to get people to switch from Instagram. I've offered other celebrities equity in Social Club to help me build it. It's like, nah, man, it's not gonna work. You know, I'm like, bro, I put, you know, over like $2.5 million in a Social Club total. I'm trying to give away equity to people just to help me build it. Like, nah, man, it's not gonna work.
It's just tough because you're competing with these guys in Santa Clara and the Silicon Valley. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, at some point, people are gonna get sick of having their posts deleted. You know, so
I think what's gonna happen, hopefully, is once weed probably becomes federally legal, there will be probably like a need for like a real platform like Social Club because it's gonna be such a. It's just. I feel like there's gonna be a weed platform 20 years from now.
Well, if you sell weed, if you smoke weed, if you post weed, you should know this 100%. Mark Zuckerberg fucking hates weed. He does not want weed.
Yeah, you've had your shit yanked before.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it from the top. I'm from here. I live in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
I know people that work with the homie. And so basically, he just doesn't like weed.
Keep weed off of IG if you don't want your page to get fucked with.
Or just join a Social Club and post your weed there. Like, don't be a fucking pussy. Start up an account. If you really claim you trap or die, shit, you can put your menu up for free right now on my shit.
Yeah.
You know, shit. Fuck with me.
Hey, man, Social Club. I got a profile. Go follow me on there.
Yeah, I got a profile. No one really interacts on there. That's the sad thing. I'll be honest, but it's going to take us to build it, man. Because I don't even like going there and getting, like, no response. I get, like, 40 comments and shit. But, like, at the end of the day, it's a good platform. If we all move over there, then it's, you know, shit. It is what it is.
Yo, you've been so good at building brands. I just saw Vibes Clothing launched. I got a pack. Shout out to the homie Luck who sent me some gear. But you've just been you have a knack for brand building, and that's a talent. You know, Cookies obviously is one of the most recognizable brands in the world at this point. It's getting bootlegged everywhere. I go to the Santee alleys. There's so much fake cookie shit.
Yeah, man. Fuck it. Let them be our cheerleaders.
Right. Go get it's like a fucking billboard for you at the end of the day. You go to the goddamn whatever liquor store. I mean, I'm in a liquor store.
Shady.
Just empty bags for sale for $1 a piece. You can get your cookie bag and stuff, whatever bullshit weed in there.
Shady as fuck.
You've seen those, right?
Yeah, they even have like fake grinders and fake like fucking. There's been some cool bootleg shit I've seen, but like we're probably like one of the most number one bootleg brands out there. But
in the weed space, you're definitely number one.
Yeah, for sure. But even like on the clothing accessory side, like I'll see like fake bongs and all kind of crazy. But you know, at the end of the day, it's like, fuck, dude, that makes me feel good because if people really want to take their energy to kind of bootleg what I'm doing, then it's like. That means you're doing something. If the brands are not getting bootleg, got something to worry about.
They should worry about that. I was going to ask you though, in terms of like brand building, what are some of the things that like you could give some game on in terms of maybe if somebody is starting a new business, maybe it's a coffee shop, maybe it's a pastry line, maybe it's, you know, what are the kind of the general things that, you know, you would say are important?
Yeah, I'll give you guys like 3, and then the rest you got to buy the book. I got a book on the way. But pretty much like first thing first is you got to find your identity. You got to find your logo and your identity. You see Cookies got that circle C, and we got the font on my hands. You want to find your script. You want to find your identity. I think the second thing that's important is like find a colorway that sticks out. We can paint that building blue and you know what it is. Even in markets where like they won't let us call the building Cookies, I just painted blue. You know, if there's a medical market, we opened up West Virginia, we couldn't put no signage in there, but that bitch is blue and they know exactly what it is. So find your identity, find your script, find your colorway, and I think the third thing is like you better be hands-on with your shit, because if you're not hands-on with your shit, you're never going to actually really own or understand your shit. You could pay an agency to build this for you, can do that for you, you can pay people to do marketing, but if you ain't really on the ground building that shit, then it's not real.
That's some real shit. Most people, like you said, I feel like a lot of people will settle for whatever shitty design they get back from the graphic designer they paid the first time. And they're like, I paid for this.
Even deeper now, I got hundreds of employees, and some of their jobs will be like to go see quality and comment on quality. But like when I see something, I'll be like, can you set up a call with the partners for me? So I can call and be like, yo, this looks really good. And it burns pretty good, but I feel like we can do a little better. And I feel like if we do ABCFG, it could really bring a whole new product out. And
you talking about the flower?
Yeah, but I don't really know, like, if I even have time for that. But I do it, and by calling them directly, they respect the fuck out of it. And they're fired up that I'm even paying attention to what's coming out of a random market, right? And so I just feel like when you put that work in yourself, then people will respect you as that brand, and you'll actually know what's going on with your brand. I could be clueless sitting in this building right now, but yeah, Cookies is great, man. We're fucking the biggest and the best, and yeah, I fucking rock on. Or I could be the way I am, anal about everything. Let me see it. Oh man, we could change this, or this store feels good, but we should do this, or like, are they doing sales every week? Are they are they engaging with their customers? I'm so hands on with everything, from like design to flower to new products to launches of products to partners to drama going on here there. That's why the business is still what it is because I know what's up.
Yeah,
you lose touch of your shit, you're fucked.
That is some real shit. I was gonna ask you in terms of you've had a journey that we've all watched very closely, but there was like a point in time where you were still probably very much like 1 foot in, 1 foot out on like still being the guy sending packs and trapping hard and also the guy trying to build a business and a career as an artist. A lot of those things ran parallel with each other. Do you remember kind of when was the first time you kind of got like the peace sleep of like, I'm out of that life? Like, because at the end of the day, you're still in the weed game, right? So it's still the weed game. So you're still gonna kind of be involved in certain type of around certain people and shit. But in terms of just like really being like, man, I got through that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, when I hit that 10-year mark.
Yeah, 10 years, right?
I mean, I think it's statute of limitations like 7 years, maybe it's 10 years. I don't know, but after 10 years of like not being fucked with for anything I did in the past, I felt good. I mean, we still get targeted, I still get profiled, still get questioned and have issues with banks and stuff like that, but like from the little shit I did prior in the very beginning of my career, yeah, after that 10-year mark, probably
you're like, hey, I ain't heard about it yet, I ain't gonna hear about it,
but I just chose to walk away at the right time. My mom died. There's gonna be no one else that could look after or love my daughter the way I would or she would.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm out.
That shit's
That's
crazy.
it. And it took a lot of dedication, but that's why I feel like the brand is what it is, because I put it all onto that. You could have 1 foot in and 1 foot out, but like you're only giving that 1 foot in half attention. Like, bro, I could be the brown bag boy right now. I could send packs. I could get more money for weed than anyone else. I know everybody. I could be killing it, but like, why would I do that when I have Cookies potentially being, one of the biggest cannabis brands in the world as far as like being recognized everywhere, right? Like, why would I jeopardize that shit? And it's tough, it's tempting, and I miss the brown bag and I miss hustling and whatnot, but like I just hustle in a different way.
Yeah. What would be your advice, because we see guys like Jay-Z popped up and had a weed brand, and I don't know what happened with it, because I think it's called Monogram. I think it kind of came and went. But we kind of see a version of that happening a lot with artists, especially artists who don't necessarily
even smoke weed, yeah.
Right? What would be like, because I do feel like there is a misconception that if you just get your own strain, man, you see it all the time. We don't even gotta say names, but there's so many rappers out here who have gone in and out of just strain deals and hoard themselves out to so many different guys, and they're on Instagram doing posts for people about boxes, and you see these fucking posts.
Terrible.
It's fucking crazy
Terrible.
That there are these, like, yo, you're getting paid by the trapper in downtown LA to shout out their fucking Telegram. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
well, first thing first, like, if I was still sending boxes, I wouldn't pay anyone to shop me out at all. I'd shut
That's
the fuck
crazy.
up.
That shit's crazy.
Yeah, you're snitching on yourself. So that's just
I see that shit and I'm like, what?
I'm like, whoa.
Like, it's a commercial for them to come and get you, bro.
Yeah. So, it's one thing to shout out like a different type of weed. Like, hey, I'm smoking this. Like, that's cool. But to say, hey, my guy guarantees touchdowns and
if
boom,
you
boom,
need
boom.
your packs, you need your boxes, make sure you follow so-and-so,
Bro,
man.
like-
they always touch down. Trust me, I know.
So 3 things. One, if I was still trapping the golden rules, you don't even talk about that shit like that, right? 2, you don't know who the fuck you're validating. You might be validating someone that's got some crazy shit
Yeah, if
going
someone
on
can
that-
give you $2,500 and a half a pound of weed for you to stamp them, who knows who the fuck they are?
Yeah. So, artists find deals that are a little more pure. Like maybe you get paid to stamp a different genetic or you get paid to endorse a brand. But like going back to the whole strain thing, like a strain is only good if you have someone that can consistently grow good and could, help make it tangible in other markets. And I think the problem is that a lot of people get in the weed game have, 1, never sold weed, 2, don't understand the weed industry, and 3, don't really have enough patience to see it through. They get paid a little bit
I
of
think
bread.
patience is the biggest thing.
Yeah, they get paid a little bit of bread. They put their brand on the shelf. They get a line for the first drop, but then they're not following up. And a lot of artists are so fucking conceited with their Instagrams that they won't even post this shit the way they're supposed to. They're like, want to post like pictures of their chest and their
They're so
jewelry
fucking worried about their Instagram,
persona,
aesthetic.
Yeah,
fuck
like
your
the-
aesthetic, bro. You
yeah.
got a brand. Like,
It's like,
push it.
dude, like, all right, so, I feel like if you're going to try to get in the weed game, understand what the weed game is, first of all, right? Like, I've been smoking weed forever. I've been in this game legally for like 21 years already. So I have an unfair advantage in understanding what's going to work and what won't. The perfect idea of a celebrity brand that worked was Erykah Badu. And I'm going to tell you why it worked. Because, 1, she took her time. I tried to approach her many years ago. She wasn't ready yet. She took her time to learn to understand the weed business. She took her time to understand the weed culture, right? She took her time to wait for a genetic that stood out, that made sense, that was different. She told me what kind of genetics she wanted. I told her, I said, sis, we can give you something that's ready already. We can start breeding and try to find something that's really going to check those boxes for you. She said, take your time. I'm in no rush. And so it took 2 years, and we presented her with flower, which is a limoncello cross that I really, really, really like, right? So Erykah has a real genetic, right? Erykah took time to understand the business, understands, the culture. She took time to develop her genetics, right? She also is hands-on as fuck, and that goes back to what we talked about earlier. She's on every single call, every single creative call. She's a part of the design process.
She's engaged.
She's part of the store drops. She's part of coming up with new products and new names for products. She actually gives a fuck. As a matter of fact, we were supposed to go live one day and promote one of the drops in the new market. She said, "Burn it," and fucked around and stopped my live. They didn't shadow ban my ass for posting. I said, "You're Erykah Badu." She said, "I know, ain't that a bitch?" Jesus. I'm like, but you know what though? You're putting in the work. And so Erykah's brand worked because she understood the purpose of it. She understands it's a medicine. It actually really connects people. She loves her audience.
It's not a lick.
It's not a lick, bro.
People treat this shit like it's a lick.
It's not about money for her at all. I could be honest and say I've never discussed money with Erykah Badu about her weed business at all, ever once. All we talked about is it being great, it resonating with the people, and it being everywhere that we can put it, and that's all she cared about, right? And so her brand's going to continue to work, right? And we have some really cool products with her. Outside the flower, we got the mushroom tea with her. We got this crazy ass other flower formula that's kind of I think it's like a blue lotus or something like that gets you feeling super trippy. She's a true, and she took the time and put the respect for the culture and for her audience to educate them on what this actually is that she's selling. Ain't no one else doing that shit.
Did you ever anticipate the Gary Payton thing becoming such a thing?
No.
Where people were rapping about it, smoking all that Gary Payton.
Nah,
it's
that shit was just
a real staple now.
It's just a bomb ass weed.
Yeah.
And Gary just made it even cooler. And the whole story and that's again is an organic situation.
Because he's from Oakland, right?
He's from Oakland.
Yeah.
But he didn't we didn't plan that out.
Yeah.
That was just happened random and organically as fuck.
Yeah, and then you see, I mean, every basketball player is got their own strain now. It's fucking,
Yeah, but like again with Gary, he just trusts the process.
has like anybody like a guy like Kevin Durant reached out to you to try to kind of get some game? Because I do see he's trying to get into the weed game a bit.
I've chilled with Kevin hella times.
Well,
Kevin's cool
he
as
played
fuck.
here, you know?
Yeah, you know, like, and I've smoked bud with Kevin. Now he's openly talking about that, right?
Yeah, he's openly talking about it.
So I'll say it now.
Because now players can smoke.
Yeah, I've gotten big high with Kevin Durant, and I fuck with him a lot. And we have a game plan for something to do. It just depends whether he still wants to do it or not. But like I've sat with him, I've smoked with him, I've kind of presented a plan for him, and I fuck with him because he actually really smokes big.
Yeah, for sure.
KD gets big high.
Hey, we got to stop the interview to tell you about our partners at Odd Socks, baby. That's right. Shout out to our family at Odd Socks, man. Look, the most comfortable socks in the entire world. OddSocksOfficial.com. They just got the Coca-Cola license. They got the Scarface license. They got the WWE license. They got fucking Kool-Aid socks. Chucky, you know what I'm saying? Halloween's coming. Get them fucking Chucky socks. Speaking of Halloween, what about the Ghostbuster joints, man? Whoo, these are gas. They even got the Ghostbuster underwear. What I'm trying to tell you is whatever you're into, they got them at Odd Socks, OddSocksOfficial.com. They just locked in the brand new Saban, what's it called? Well, look, they got Transformers and Power Rangers. That's essentially what I'm trying. Oh, Hasbro, the Hasbro license, all right? They got all the socks, draws, all that shit. Plus, they got the Odd Socks Basics, which are my favorite, just the normal guys. I mean, I wear them every single day of my life. They're literally the most comfortable socks. And don't forget about the underwear, ladies and gentlemen. The underwear are there. If you want to get 20% off at checkout, go to OddSocksOfficial.com. Use that promo code BOOTLEG, 20% off at checkout. OddSocksOfficial.com. Trust me. All right, you go get some of these Odd Socks, you put them on, if they ain't the most comfortable socks you ever put on in your motherfucking life, you know what I'm saying, DM me. I'm not going to reply, but because you're a liar, you know what I mean? Anyway, also want to give a big shout out to our family at King Palm, baby. That's right. Shout out to King Palm, man. Listen, I've been smoking these King Palms since they've come on board, and I don't know what, man, look, bruh. These things right here, it's a tobacco-free leaf. Just organic, no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Just organic. I mean, this thing right here, this is like it's natural. What I like about it, you know what I'm saying? Now, this is what I like about King Palms is I went from smoking just straight papers to strictly King Palms, and I love it because I like the way they burn, and I like the way they taste. Because what they do have are these terpene flavored tips. Yes, they're infused on the tip, tobacco free. You squeeze the tip. And it's a burst of flavor. These are the Sugar Punches. Shout out to Sugar Sean O'Malley. These are the Dragon Fruits. Ooh, what do we got here? We got grape. They got all kinds of flavors. I mean, literally watermelon. They got an energy drink flavor, California cream, whatever it is. And check this out. Right now, not only can you go and get King Palm at your favorite smoke shop by your house, maybe 7-Eleven, pop in, get you some King Palm. Whatever smoke shop is near you has King Palms, liquor stores, all that. But you can also go to the website and get 50% off. Half off whatever you want to order from King Palm. They got the smoking accessories, the ashtrays, the grinders, I mean, the glass tips, whatever you're into. KingPalm.com, promo code BOOTLEG, save 50% off at checkout. Shout out to King Palm, man. I'm about to smoke up right now after this podcast. All right, yo, let's get back to the interview.
I just saw him recently and he was smoking. It was like in public too. I was like, oh, he doesn't give a fuck.
Like, I'm glad that was one of the coolest people I've gotten high with. I couldn't say it before, but yeah, I've gotten big high with King.
Who's the coolest person you've gotten high with? This has got to be, I mean, you've probably gotten high with everybody at this point. Somebody who sticks out where you're like, wow, I smoked with this person. That's fucking crazy.
Dude, to me, it's still Be Real, dude. Like, if I'm just gonna be honest, like, Be Real is a guy.
Yeah.
And he gets really high, and like when I see him, it's like a reunion of like, here's the flavors I've been fucking with, here's the flavors he's been fucking with. We just rolling back to back, and you know, it's childhood goal shit. It's also like, he's a legendary weed man too, you know.
Yes, he is.
So like my favorite person, you know, I've gotten high with is Be Real, straight up.
Yeah, Be Real. Obviously, tell me how. Because was this Snoop Wiz tour? Was this your biggest tour you've done, or one of them at least?
It felt like one of the biggest. It felt good.
I think it was dope because everyone was canceling their tours. and tour dates.
Yeah,
and
no one wanted to mention that the Snoop Dogg, Wiz Khalifa, Too Short, Warren G, and BERNER tour sold out in every market. Like,
and in a time where nobody was selling out shows, everybody was complaining.
Everyone was canceling. And the coolest thing about this tour for me was I got the opening slot, right? It was DJ. Oh, shout out to DJ Drama.
Drama was there, yeah.
Drama was there. He put on, but like it was DJ Drama than me, and then it'd be Warren, Too Short, Wiz, Snoop. And when I first got offered this show, I was like, fuck, I got the opening slot. I'm about to be fucked. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, because those opening slots in those amphitheater shows could be interesting.
Bro, I've seen it 100 different ways.
Me too. Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
But the best thing about this show was that it was never like that. That bitch was 85% full every time I went on. There's videos, the whole tour. I go on at 7 p.m. That bitch is full, rocking.
Nice, grown, mature crowd getting there early.
Young and grown, but they were there early because they liked the lineup. They didn't want to miss me.
They didn't want to miss you.
They didn't want to miss me. They didn't want to miss Warren G. They didn't want to miss Too Short. They wanted to see the whole show, and so that tour was life changing for me. I thank Snoop so much for hand selecting that lineup, because he did hand select that lineup, and I feel super grateful for that. I got a chance to bond with some of my mentors and some of the guys I grew up listening to and looking up to. Got a chance to chill with the Taylor gang. That's family. Me and Snoop got some deals coming out that tour that are pretty big. We got Cookies by Cookies coming soon under his food umbrella. So we're
Cookies by Cookies.
Yeah, just snacks, good snacks.
I like that.
Non-infused. Walmart, baby.
Yo, for Snoop, like, I feel like, have you, because when we think of weed and hip hop, I think of Snoop. And then I think of Wiz, and I think of Be Real, then I think of you. But in terms of just like the general public, everyone thinks of Snoop Dogg, right? Mm-hmm. You've done some weed stuff with Snoop. For whatever reason, it feels like Snoop hasn't fully cracked off into space in a way that you would expect him to. I know you guys have done stuff, but have you like helped Snoop out at all in that space?
We launched something together that did hella well. The Doggy Bag, it killed it. I mean, when we dropped it in LA, the lines were down the block. We dropped it in other markets. People loved it. It was a good genetic. But I think the thing with Snoop is that he's way bigger than just focusing on a weed brand. He's an international fucking icon.
No, it's crazy.
This guy.
I think he's the. I mean, I always tell this to people. He's the most famous rapper in the world.
I think he's like.
He's one of the most famous people in the world.
He's like the closest, like. And I say this may be a weird statement, but he's like the closest guy to Michael Jackson out there. Like, he's no one like Michael Jackson. Everyone knows who Snoop Dogg is.
Everybody.
I don't care where you go.
Your grandma, like,
you know who the dog is.
Yes.
You know who the dog is.
100%.
So I think that Snoop loves weed. He's a fan of weed. He loves to smoke good weed. I've gotten high with him for years. He's at multiple brands. But I think that he's just so much bigger than trying to focus on the weed brand. He's focused on like the food category now with the ice cream and the cereal. Like, I think he's focused on just like bigger plays that he didn't really think he'd be able to do, when he was younger, Snoop. And I think that
getting
like
into Walmart, shit like that. Yeah,
I mean, and he's not only getting into Walmart, he's opening the doors for other people. Like, he didn't have to open that door for me. That's why I bought him the Rolex at the last day of the tour, because I was like, I don't even know if he'll ever wear this watch, but like, I'm so grateful that he opened up the door for me to help normalize myself as a household name. And by introducing that partner to develop, create cookies and to actually distribute it into places like Walmart, that's big as fuck for me, and I'm grateful for that. And I think that I told him that day, I said, you're the only artist I know that gives back like this.
Yeah,
you share your platform.
Back, yeah.
You don't want nothing back. You told me, Bern, I'm simple. You could have brought me a little bag of weed. I said, I know I could have, but like, I want to give you this from the heart, because this is what, in my world, like, I've always dreamed about being able to do something like this. And like, this tour brought a lot of happiness to my life in a really dark time. And this tour gave me motivation to keep making music. And it showed me that around the country I'm respected all in different markets I never thought I would be. And shit, bro, like, you're opening up big doors for us. So shout out to Snoop. He's the only guy that actually really shares his platform and gives back and gives opportunities to other artists when he ain't got to do that shit at all. That's my role model, really.
No, Snoop, I always see him popping up on up and coming artist shit too, just randomly. You'd be like, damn, Snoop's on like a Zoe Osama remix, or he's on a Scarlet record, like, and it's just like, oh, he's not only is he like, he's just tapped in, and I feel like he's generous with his energy, man.
Man, that dude ain't got to do. That dude's caked up.
For sure.
Snoop Dogg is caked up, liquidly caked up, and like his money's not in equity. He's caked up for reals, and he don't have to do none of the shit he's doing. He's doing it because he loves it, and that's the dope thing about the dog.
Have any of the, like, you know, like when we think of a guy like Diddy or we think of a guy like Hove, have you had any discussions with those guys at all about maybe just kind of gaming them up in terms of the space? Because it is a space that, you know, like you said, it helps to be somebody who came from that life. You know what I mean? Someone who's a smoker, someone who cares about the culture of cannabis. You know what I mean?
I've sat down with Diddy. I had like really cool like sit down with him and had a good relationship with him personally. Dude's a fucking legend, bro. He's an iconic dude for sure. I've actually had the opportunity to talk with Jay-Z as well, and you know it was like a 30-minute call, but it was life goal shit.
Yeah, was that just about
just
the weed game,
about
or?
just like cannabis and like where cannabis is going, and he gave me a lot of game. You know, we just were sharing thoughts about things, and I just kind of told him that, you know, like my goal with this business is to leave it to my daughter, but I would like to find a way to exit one day and get some liquidity, actually get some real cash, a couple $100 million. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And he gave me some real game on how to do that. I'm grateful for that. I gave him some game. We talked about doing something. He just never really moved like that. But like, I was on a fucking Zoom with Jay-Z. It was pretty cool.
That shit's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty fucking cool. You know, talked to Hove. Salute to him. I'm grateful for the game he gave me. I hope that he found the game I gave him valuable. I'm here if they ever want to chop it up again. You know, like, gave Diddy some good game. He gave me some good game. You know, so I feel blessed. Like, it's one thing to be on that list. I even sat down with Dr. Dre about weed before.
Really?
Yeah.
Like face to face?
Yeah.
What was the face to face Dre meeting like?
Crazy.
Because that's really for someone who grew up in that.
I told you
Cali,
I told you I would give you gems on this. Cause I fuck with you. You're very consistent with like caring about my story. But like, yeah, shout out to Slim the Mobster, man. He made a call back in the days.
Yo, Slim the Mobster. Fuck, he was on Aftermath.
He was in jail and he made a call, and from jail was on the phone, and you know, I went to go sit down with Dre. They was like, nah, man, he ain't here, man, he ain't here. And they was like shooting me away. I was like, man, Slim, I'm here, bro. He ain't tried. He's like, hold on. Boom, 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 and I get let in. And I go sit down, and Dre sat down with me, and I showed him a jar of what we wanted to call the Chronic, and it was by far the best looking weed we've ever produced. It was incredible, beautiful. It was orange, purple, funky, stanky. Just buds looked. It would look like it was out of a fucking movie. How good this weed looked. I showed him the Chronic, and he was just like, "Yeah, I fuck with it, and I appreciate Slim putting this play together, and you know we'll think about it, but like I don't know if I really want to kind of put myself in the industry. You know, I got, you know, he told me I got money, and I don't really want to play with that until, you know, maybe it's federally legal. I just don't want to risk it." I'm like,
what year was this?
This was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh shit! So not too far, not too long ago, yeah.
And I said, I respect that, and I said, can I leave this with you for yourself or those who smoke? He's like, for sure. And I got like a nervous picture with him. Fred Reck took the picture for me because he was there. Shout out to Fred Reck. But yeah, I think it's cool that like being on that hip hop list. I think it's cool because like Dre saw me.
He had to see you and be like, oh, that's.
I remember that guy.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
He pitched me on this weed
I guess
business.
it's going pretty well.
Yeah, I guess it fucking worked for him. I think it's cool because I got a chance to share moments with Diddy, and I got a chance to share moments with Jay-Z. And
you guys are the top four.
Yeah, and I've never met Kanye, you know, I don't know, whatever, I have no opinion on that, but I'm just saying it's cool because I've ran into all of those guys, and I felt good for them to see me up there because I told them what I wanted to do and what I was building at the time. And now they have
to see the list. They're like, oh, shit.
Because the same guy that does their evaluation and is kind of making sure that, you know, their net worth is credible and relevant is doing mine. So it's real, you know.
I was going to say, when that happens, what is the, whether it's the Forbes or that list, what is like the influx in people just in your DMs or bothering you or all of a sudden trying to fuck with you? It's got to be crazy.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. I'm not the answer to anyone's problems. I promise you.
Or just like I would just see people like posting that would just never ever like post about you or like even like acknowledge your music or what you're doing, and it's like, oh, now you know this guy's on the cover of Forbes, and now you're fucking. I mean, it's kind of cool. You obviously, the more successful you get, the more people are going to come to the party.
They're gonna come and like recognize game, but like again, for me, it's life goal shit because I grew up looking up to Jay-Z. I grew up looking up to Diddy. Who didn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
Grew up looking up to Dr. Dre. Kanye's fucking. No matter what anyone says about the guy, he's a legend, bro.
He's a genius.
He's a smart guy. He built out Yeezy hard, and so like, it's cool to sit next to those guys. It's cool to like be acknowledged by the same guys that acknowledge him on a wealth, side of things. But like, fuck, I just felt good when that came out. I was like, damn, I've talked to multiple of these guys. I told them what I wanted to do. I think the coolest thing is, bro, I'm just getting started.
Yeah.
Like I can't say what, but Vibes just locked in something so big.
No, the Vibes papers are going crazy. I feel like it's very hard to take off the top dog, and I feel like you guys have done a really good job of like if I go to any smoke shop, it used to be if I went to a smoke shop and I saw Vibes, I'm like, oh, you guys got Vibes. That's fucking sick. Burner's my friend. That's cool. It's everywhere.
Yeah, but like the play we just locked in for Vibes is so next level, bro. Like, and you guys will see it 2 years from now because I probably won't be able to talk about it for a while. But like, it's one of those plays that like goes down in history, bro. And so like, I'm just getting started. So if I made that list now, right?
It's crazy because this alone is a fucking a beast of a business.
Yeah, Vibes is about to hit hard. So like, and I feel like Cookies is nowhere close to where it's going to be, especially because we haven't really added international as much as we could possibly in the future. So
it's crazy because you've dealt with so many uphill battles in every single one of these spaces you're in. Like, especially like I remember when you had the public falling out with Josh at Raw, because it feels like if I'm a guy who has a company that depends on weed users, and Berner comes into that space, I'm freaking the fuck out because I know it's gonna work.
Yeah, well, especially like if I come in that space and I get next to key players that actually make that business what it's about to be, because I start getting next to everyone real quick.
Yeah,
real quick. Like, I didn't just say white label of a rolling paper for me. I went and found the best rolling paper producer. I went and found the best specialty item producer, like the Cali, the Cubano.
You could have done you could have been lazy and did what a lot of people would have done, just white label some shit.
Yeah, we ain't doing none of that. And so the fact that we started getting close to real people, I think made other rolling paper producers feel the threat, but that threat shouldn't have been felt until today, because the document that came through my email today
is serious.
Yeah, motherfuckers better feel that threat. Woo. Because I'm coming for the top space in rolling paper business, and I say that with confidence, with my balls hanging down to my feet right now. You know what I mean?
Where do you feel like the shroom game's going? Because it feels like, at least on the black market, it's the new packs. It's the new way to get margins. It's the new way to make some fucking serious money. It's obviously extremely illegal to psilocybin, but in certain places like Oakland, I think is San Francisco now legal or decriminalized? I know Oakland
they don't give a shit about that shit. I think shrooms is about to be a big wave. I think it's going to be just like the cannabis wave.
It seems like the next thing that's about to get hoarded out quickly, get corny quickly. There's obviously high medicinal purposes for it, especially 100%. In the therapeutic spaces.
100%. Like, even without psilocybin, mushrooms are good for your body. They're good for your mind.
Because you have
caps.
You have caps, which is legal mushrooms that you could go buy at any. I mean, I'm assuming any Cookies dispensary.
Yeah, we actually got like some kind of not award, but like some kind of acknowledgement in Men's Health about caps. But I planted that seed real early. Caps.
Right, because whenever psilocybin comes to be a thing, you already have caps.
I already have caps. And, fuck it, I'll tell you and whatever, but like we already have a bunch of different like R&D going on with like real, psilocybin style mushrooms, and like just finding the best type of mushroom, and just kind of like doing our research on a very small level in the background. So when that time comes, we treat it just like genetics. Like,
yeah, it's nothing different because there's penis envy, there's tidal waves, there's different strains that do different things that hit you differently, that'll give you different emotional, reactions and visibilities and.
So we're slow playing that. We got the legal side of mushrooms already on deck, and they're really good for your sleep and really good for your daytime. I
love them, man.
They're good for for like the mind and being sharp. And when recreational hits for psilocybin, we're in position to introduce it,
to be ready,
and in a very good way with like purpose and like with good quality product. But I think that psilocybin would just be just like the cannabis industry. All these chads are gonna come in and try to fuck it up.
I feel like they're kind of. I think that's actually happening right now because I just watched a YouTube video that someone's trying to trademark or copyright like psilocybin therapy, which is a weird thing to try to. Like it's some weirdo shit going on already in that space.
Yeah, fuck all that shit.
I'm crazy. Like in your position, right? Being in so many different cities, so many different markets. Do you ever have to deal with like any? Because I know right now there are lobbyists that are trying to get the psilocybin shit passed through. But do you ever have to deal with like politicians or anybody who's like? Because it feels like there's definitely got to be a agenda or lobby on both sides to make it federally legal and or illegal, and it feels like you might have some sort of insight on what that
only
looks
like in certain markets, like when they're holding back our license to open in a store. I'll talk to like certain politicians and kind of just say, hey, like what's going on, like we'd love to build whoop whoop and get chances to say hello. But I mean, bro, if I'm ever invited to the White House or if I'm ever invited somewhere around some of these lawmakers, I would love to give my input.
I was gonna say, do you think federally it's gonna happen soon in terms of no?
5 years, 10 years.
I feel like I don't know why one of these fucking cocksuckers running for president doesn't just fucking say, guys, I'm gonna make weed legal.
Because there's too many old people in position. Presidents are just puppets.
It's just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You would think like you probably win the election. Just run that you're making weed legal and you're gonna free fucking marijuana prisoners.
It's crazy. They don't want to do that. There's too much money behind keeping people locked up. And there's too many old people with old thoughts and old agendas in position. We need some of these guys to kind of phase out and let the new generation take office. I give it 10 years. I think 10 years. I would love to be optimistic and say weeds can go legal soon so I can really build my business the way it should be built and we can get rid of these weird-ass laws like 280E and shit. But I don't see it happening anytime soon. That's why I spread my wings really hard and stay relevant in many other ways.
Give me your top 5 rappers ever.
Pac, Bone Thugs as a group. Praying for Crazy Bone.
Yeah,
praying for Crazy Bone right now. Definitely. Shit, this is tough. I'm biased, man. I'm old school, dog. I mean Snoop. You got Pac, Bone, Snoop. I mean Biggie's in there for sure. And fuck, dude, this is tough. I'm so old school, man. I'm so old school when it comes to music. Fuck, I'm gonna get ridiculed for this list. Fifth person, bro. DMX, fuck it.
DMX, and you got to work with DMX.
Yeah.
Before he passed, which is crazy.
I related to his shit a lot. Now, there's a bunch of people I should have said politically and whatever, but that's just what comes to my head right now, what I'm listening to right now.
I'm surprised you didn't do the political Bay Area rapper to throw in there.
Well, that's his own list, you know? That's his own list.
What's the Bay Area list?
Fuck. The Jacka, Mac Dre for sure, E40, San Quinn, and I mean, bro, you got to give Too Short his props.
I give Too Short.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. I feel like people who aren't from the Bay will never quite understand Mac Dre.
Like, or San Quinn. San
Quinn, or even the Jacka for sure.
The Jagger, that's my number one Bay Area. I'm one of his biggest fans. But the San Quinn's probably one of the best rappers at the Bay. I think out the West Coast, he just never got a chance to shine like that on a very, very major level. But like Quinn still got heat to this day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, I think it's crazy because like I had that talk with somebody else from the Bay that I won't mention, but we're kind of talking about how like I understand why Mac Dre is important. I understand, you know, I also understand from what a lot of people told me that people didn't really, in terms of the streets, fuck with him and like at least his Thiz era shit until he passed. It was more like some Berkeley shit, and then once he passed, people kind of really truly appreciated,
gravitated to him,
what he did. You know what I'm saying? All right, man. Well, shit. Hey, before we go, can you give me the last time we hung out? You gave me OG BERNER in the. What, I forget what happened. You were afraid you were going to get robbed in the mountains of Humboldt County.
Yeah,
that shit went super viral. Let's dive back 15 years, 20 years. Bern, give me another random, just story time with BERNER. Give me a crazy story about a situation that might have been dicey back in the day. It could have been in Humboldt County. It could have been in the streets of San Francisco. Give me a little anecdotal little tidbit, man, before we go.
Well, I guess a good one would be I let someone handle something for me one time, and you know, I felt it in my gut that it wouldn't be the right move. But I said, bro, like, be very attentive. These guys are kind of shifty, and I don't think they're gonna rob you by gunpoint. But I feel like something's gonna go wrong. So, you know, I'm gonna let you handle this because I'm not around. But like, be very attentive to what happens. He's like, for sure, I got you. So he goes to meet up with this guy in a hotel, and he gives him the bags in a duffel bag, and the guy gives him the money. The money's vacuum sealed, and you know, it looks right. It's hundreds on top and whatever. And there was 2 vacuum sealed bags, and kind of made a joke like, "What? You don't trust me? Want to count it here? You really want to count it all here? I got shit to do. I got to move. I got to go box these up and get them out of here." And dude's like, "Yeah, you know." He's like, "Bro, at least bust open one. You can count it real quick." And the dude opened up for him the vacuum sealed bag and handed him a stack, and he counted through a whole stack. It's all hundreds. Boom, boom, boom. Cool. Put it back, and he's like, "Bro, I gotta go. I gotta move." You know what I mean? Boom. My boy takes off, gets to where he's going, opens up the vacuum seals, and the rest of all the stacks are just 100 on top of all ones.
Ooh.
And I'm like, he calls me and tells me, like, "Bro, you really let this man pull out the stack and count it for you?" Like, I mean, he didn't count it for him, but you really let him open that pack up and
like
give you a stack.
The one he knew was probably
like, you let him give you the right corner stack. You didn't go through anything else. He's like, "Bro, he was moving so fast. He was nervous. It was just seemed shady. He was opening up the packs. It started smelling the room. I just want to get out of there with all that bread. And I was worried about getting robbed when I left." I'm like, "But you were worried about getting robbed when you left, but you got robbed right there." He's calling the dude's phones are out of service and shit.
How much money are we talking?
I don't even remember at the time. It was like probably like 16 years ago or something like that. But I just know my boy got fucked big time, and it fell on him. I'm like, "Bro, you were there to handle it. You were there to count the bread. I told you what to do. You didn't do it, so that's on you, bro."
You gotta eat that fucking L.
Yeah, and he never paid me back for it, but yeah, that was a random one. So, and for all them bag boys out there, if someone comes with a neatly stack of hundreds, all flattened out, perfect in the vacuum seal, go through it.
Yeah, you should never just take the vacuum seal of money. Just open it up. Make sure it's there. It's actually money.
I mean, you're already in the
counterfeit.
You're already somewhere doing a deal. You're already invested in this situation. Count it out. So, you know, that's just a good old story that happened. Someone pulled a slick one on my little homie, and my little homie is supposed to pay me back, but he did not.
The crazy shit is, like, right now in downtown LA, it's the wild, wild west. Like, if you're downtown and you live in a high rise, I guarantee you there is a trapper on your floor. And if you see guys moving around with tons of luggage all the time, they're not traveling. Downtown LA is wild right now.
Yeah, rappers, stop shouting out these trap guys, man. Let them build an organic following themselves.
That shit is crazy.
Fucking snitching, dude.
Dog, it's like, yeah, it's crazy, man. Well, look, man. Obviously, people can go. I mean, you got when's the New Mexico opening? Albuquerque.
November 3rd.
So November 3rd, that's coming. New music coming. Collab project with Be Real on the way. Mozzie, OGZ,
Larry Joe.
Cookie's clothing is going crazier than ever.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys are probably. I mean, keeping Zoomies alive at this point.
Zoomies has been a great party for us.
Man, you guys are fucking front and center.
Yeah, they've been a great party. We got 2 shoes coming out next year with somebody. I'm not gonna say who.
Tennis shoes?
Yeah.
Like sneakers? Are they fly?
Yeah.
Okay.
I keep coming with that. I keep coming with it, man.
There's gonna be a cookie sneaker coming.
Yeah, they try to write me out, man. It's not happening. Cookies.
I love the slides.
Yeah, slides are good, but I'm talking about like a partnership with a bigger company, like a collab sneaker.
A collab sneaker.
Yeah. It's not just us putting it out. No, it's a collab with a pretty big brand, relevant brand.
Why'd you guys stop doing denim, or is it? Or you guys not do it as much? Because you were a big jean guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just tough. Focus on what you do
business.
best.
Yeah. Focus on what works, man. Well, look, Cookie Shoes on the way. So much going on. Real quick. I know you're a big Maui guy. Mm-hmm. It had to be tough to see what happened in Maui.
Terrible.
That's when I go to Maui. I stay that's where I'm at. I'm always in Lahaina eating food, and I go to that big ass tree and eat dole. It's so sad.
It's a terrible situation. Shout out to everyone on the ground putting in that work out there in Maui. A lot of people are making sure that they're taken care of.
I know that's kind of like your dream. If I retire, you always talk about going to Maui.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to be in Maui or Kauai, but shout out to everyone in Maui. I've checked in. I've helped out. I'm not one of those guys that publicly just post what I do for things, but I've helped out in the ways I can, and I know that there's good people on the ground making sure people are good out there.
For sure, man. Well, there it is. Big Burn. I appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Boom.
Yeah.
Hey, what up, man? You just watched another episode of the Bootleg Podcast, brought to you by Hardin, baby. Shout out to the family at Hardin. Don't forget, make sure if you're in Las Vegas, you get into that taxi. As soon as you land, you get into that Uber, say, take me to Hardin, all right? They're going to get you taken care of. The most craziest premium selection of cannabis you'll ever find under one roof. It's a vibe in there. The bud tenders, they're going to take care of you. Man, listen, tell them I sent you. They're going to get you right. Shout out to the family at Hardin in Las Vegas, the #1 dispensary in the world, all right? And we are so proud to be partners with them. So shout out to Hardin. Go follow them online, Hardin_Las Vegas, and check out their website, HardinLasVegas.com. Get you some swag. You can't buy this, but shout out to Hardin.